So I will open it to your questions and concerns. You over there!
Yeah. This is a question on part of Falcon Skull's history. I understand that the reason you guys were turned into chimps and Turbo was because you guys were Saban was trying to film this spin-off where you and Falk were managers of a hotel. What's the story on that?
Wow. Wow. Good homework. Okay, for a while they decided Vulcan Skull might be a spin-off. They were trying to decide which way to do it. Okay. They were going to do, first of all, they thought maybe do the young Laurel and Hardy. Just use us actors as Laurel and Hardy younger. That didn't go anywhere. Then they thought about that hotel idea. That came from, geez, a series of meetings, but I think there was only one or two. Doug Sloan was one of the key players in that. And we came up with this wacky idea that Vulcan Skull were like running the grandma's old house. You know, and wacky things ensued from there. And it didn't get very far past the planning period, because what happened was we had come out with a compilation video of Vulcan Skull, The Good, the Bad, and the Stupid. At about the same time, I think that we were selling the White Ranger, White Light, White Heat, White Trash. Oh wait, that's social distortion. Wait a minute. When the White Ranger thing came out, so the Vulcan Skull video didn't sell very highly, and I think they just said, you know what, maybe there's just not a market for straight comedy. You know, Power Rangers works because it's comedy, action, sci-fi. The Vulcan Skull thing would just be comedy. It was a bit of a gamble, and so we didn't take it. Good question. That is, you're right. That is why they turned us into monkeys to develop that. Wow, I didn't even remember that. Look at you. Look at you. We'll get one and then two.
Going on that note, on the verbal episode, which honestly might be better. But you were probably working it for about like 5 minutes in that kind of a hotel setting. Was that a nod to that idea, or was that just because they needed to throw you in the pool?
I think it was just because they wanted to throw us in a pool. You know, I'm convinced that everything the writers ever did to us was out of spite. The first few seasons they said, what can we throw on them? Sandwiches, yogurt, pudding, lots of pudding. A lot of things were made of pudding. One time we fell in cement, it was like made of pudding. Great pudding. So, and then like later they decided they wanted to put us in wacky costumes, and at some point they figured out that I really hated being dressed as a woman. So, Narvy doesn't like being dressed as a woman. Let's dress as a woman for a year. So I kept ending up with dresses. Oh man, and you know, the more angry I got, the more it was like a wet cat. Wet cats are funny. It's like a fart joke though. You know why men laugh at fart jokes? Because they're funny. Anyway, then there was somebody else over here, I thought. Right there.
Yeah, I was wondering, have you worked with Polly in anything since you left PR?
Let me think. It's been tough because I've been back east, you know. Let me think about that. On top of my head, no. I mean, there was I came back to do a couple episodes of Power Rangers, like the episode where I slept in. I did over my Christmas break of my freshman year, Red Light. The Red Ranger thing, I think.
Forever Red.
Forever Red. Oh.
I like better Red Light.
Red Light and Red Heat. Red Trash. Keep bagging on the Indians. So yeah, no, not really. I mean, we had little things we played around with, but you know, because Paulie and I were always, Paulie and Johnny would always try to come up with stuff like, hey, I got an idea, you know, and it would usually end up with us with a video camera for a few hours, and we'd watch and be like. Okay, over there and then over there.
Also, I was kind of wondering, how did the whole idea between you and you two becoming like full junior police officers in season 3? If you want.
I think that maybe even Doug Sloan. Doug Sloan was a huge advocate, and so was Ann. Huge advocate, because once again, we were buddies with him, and we had a good repertoire. We'd been around so long, so they kept saying, we want to keep these characters around, but they can't just be high school bullies. I mean, for God's sake, somebody pointed out to me yesterday that there was some outtake where Paulie says, you notice something strange? And I said, yeah, we've been in high school way too long. GED, that's what it is. We didn't get high school diplomas, we got GEDs. So we can go to the police squad. So that was, I think, Doug, once again, trying to expand the characters and keep them fresh like the rest of the show. There was somebody over here, and then I'll come over here.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on how your character developed from being high school bullies to help being police officers, detectives, and helping the Rangers and saving the planet?
You know, it was fun. I mean, you know, you can only be, once again, high school bullies for so long, and of course, people like Tony had their own ideas how the character should be. I was always like, he's angry. Skull's angry. Okay, how is he angry? He's mad. You see? And so Tony's like, no, I think Skull is, you know, is confused, and he's got something on the inside. Yeah, anger, you know, so it was so much easier to play anger, especially when you had to get up at 4 in the morning to be on the set by 6, you know, you're going to always be angry. But it was fun, and actually, I think the detective stuff towards the end was some of our funnier stuff. Because there came a point where we were just like, you know, take the script and, you know the line, fine, just make stuff up. And the directors trusted us enough. There was one episode where we had this thing, like the whole episode was based upon us making the world's perfect cup of coffee. And we came up with this thing where we're sniffing the coffee. And for some reason, that was just the funniest stuff in the world to me. And there got to be points where, and Paulie always broke me up, but like during the police force thing, you know, we had when we're getting our hair chopped off.
Oh man!
The mullet. Oh, the mullet, yeah. It was a mullet, I think. But I remember watching Paulie, because you know, he got his haircut, and he turned us to each other, and we look at each other, and we're supposed to look at each other, go, ah! Look in the mirror. Ah, yeah, I just kept laughing. We couldn't stop laughing at each other. We're so ugly. I remember Paulie, at times, he like stared, like I'd be getting ready to go, and you know, camera's rolling, and I'd be getting ready to go, and out of the corner of my eye, I see Paulie looking at me. What? God, you are so ugly. God, look at that nose, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger. You're just going to be funnier and funnier looking, man. So yeah, we had to soften up at some point. That's where the comedy was coming from. So there was actually someone right behind you, too, and then over here.
Actually, on the topic of Forever Red, I wanted to know, was there any truth to the rumor that Kimberly, Amy Jo Johnson, was supposed to come back and actually be married to Eugene Skullovitch?
I heard that. I don't think so. No, I don't think I would ever put her with Skull. Skull never got a chick. He got close with that one model chick. But that's about as close as he was ever going to get. I mean, you can't make Skull too sensitive. He has to be, he has to be sympathetic. But it's like Donald Duck. You know? Donald Duck, he had Daisy, but not really. If he had Daisy, it would be funny. It's the frustration of the thing that keeps it funny. And ultimately, Skull's just supposed to be funny. You know, as sensitive as he was. And good looking. Articulate.